All right. Attention, all stations, and good evening, everyone, and welcome. Bonsoir tout le monde et bienvenue. This is Victor Alpha 3 Charlie Juliet Zulu VA3CJZ, open the uh, Amateur Radio Exchange Group Simplex Net for Wednesday, January 15th, 2025. My name is Chuck, and my station is located in Hamilton. This net is on every Wednesday night, starting at 8 p.m. and ending at around 10 p.m. local time here on 146.430 megahertz. And since this is a simplex net, not everyone will be able to hear everyone else. So I also stream the net on YouTube, so people who tune in will be able to hear stations that they cannot hear on their radio, hear how their audio sounds on the air, as well as see their signal strength and see my station layout. Just type my call into the YouTube search box and look for us live. Or tonight we'll be under the title AREG Week 1635. That's 1,635 weeks that AREG has been on the air consecutively. And also, being the fact that we're running a simplex net, I do encourage the use of relays. So we can help one another out by relaying information that others cannot hear. And finally, I just ask that you please leave a 1 second delay at least between transmissions to allow other stations to break in. Do we have any time sensitive stations or mobile? Please come now. Okay, that was a pretty scratchy signal to me, but I think I got VE3GCI. Is that correct? Okay, CI. That's oh my goodness. Look who it is. It's Art, VE3KCI. Come on in, Art. Oh yeah, how you been feeling there, Art? All right? Yeah, my wife too. She's getting it now. And so that means I'll be getting it on the weekend there. We're all getting it, I think. No way, there's no way around it. Oh, very good. Well, that's as good as an excuse as any to to check into the net there, Art. Yeah. So, how's that coming along there? Your meetings, all right? Wow. Wow, that's about 40 more than me. Well, congratulations, Art. That's fabulous. Um, it's not easy, but when you got it locked in, that's you're good. Right on. Well, thanks for checking in, Art. You gonna listen along for a bit? All right, Art. Thanks. You're in the log. Number one. Okay, then. So let's open it up to anyone with a valid license. Anyone, anywhere. This is VA3CJZ.
VA3IMW.
VE3KMQ.
VA3VT.
VA3NCA.
VE3F.
All right. I got several stations there, but I think I missed one. I've got IMW, KMQ, Bravo Tango, and NCA. Who did I miss?
VE3FHE.
And VE3ZJC.
All right, got it. Two more. Okay, so let's go up to the top and say hello to Mac, VA3IMW. How's your furnace working, Mac?
My furnace? Oh, it's doing a fine job. Never a problem. Yeah, warm and toasty. Did you hear something to the to the opposite, or are you predicting some failure?
No, I'm just trying to be funny. It is cold out there, and it is not a good time for anything like that to be breaking down. So I'm not going to jinx anyone. It was just a reference to the cold there. So how's things?
Oh, things are good. Things are good. Getting very close to back onto my regular schedule. I do have trouble in the afternoon. When I finish lunch, the eyes get heavy, and if I could turn the lights out and curl up in the corner and snooze away the afternoon, that would be okay by me. But no, I think another couple of days and everything's going to be back right as rain. Actually, temperatures this evening weren't horrible. I think it was like -6 or -7 degrees, something like that, in town here. So a little bit nicer than what it was this morning at 6:30. And I think we're looking for temperatures at the 0 or +1 range Friday and Saturday. So looking forward to that as well. And I think it also takes a dive down into -10 region on Sunday. But I guess that's what they say is a dry cold. Anyways, not a whole lot of traffic here. Just get myself back up to speed with the normal goings on here in Canada, and got a bunch of work projects that kind of stacked up behind me in between the time I took off for Christmas and the time overseas. So days are busy, and thankfully, just a little off topic, but now when I leave the office, I have partial daylight. I can see the evening is not quite upon us, so that's a kind of a sign that the days are getting longer, and I think we can all take some solace in that as well. Anyways, where the heck is Rick? He should have been first checking in here tonight. Have you heard anything from him?
No, poor fella. He's either dealing with a loss or someone that's sick, or he's sick himself. I don't know. I haven't heard him mobile either throughout the week. He usually stops in and says hi when he's out and about, but no, he's been quiet, actually, unfortunately.
Well, perhaps he's just having a nap. Maybe we can scream a little louder, wake him up. Anyways, we'll hold out best wishes for Rick and his family. All right, I'll be here for the duration, and sorry I missed you last night. Got busy with some stuff upstairs, and by the time I got down to the shack, it was like 7:45, so I guess the Tuesday net was over by that time. So anyways, thanks for doing this one, and like I said, I'll be along for the ride.
All right, sounds good, Mac. I just noticed on YouTube that Dave is checking in from Magnolia, Texas, VA3DCS. And his 6-month-old granddaughter is wearing him out. He's got to go to dinner now. So 7-3 Dave, thanks a bunch for checking in, and take care. Glad you made it down there. Enjoy the warmer weather, and we'll talk to you again soon. VA3DCS, VA3CJZ. Also want to give a shout out to Wayne B, VA3FMB, as well as Noel, VE3 Kilo Delta Tango, and Wade VA3NCA, all checking in on YouTube. So if you're just tuning in, you can go to YouTube, put my call in the search box, and you can look for us live. Or tonight, we're under the title AREG Week 1635. And so let's move down to VE3KMQ, Mike.
Yeah, VA3CJZ, VE3KMQ. Good evening, Chuck, and everybody else on the net this evening. Hope everybody's doing well. Coming to you tonight on a handheld, Chuck. I don't know, 8 or 9 watts perhaps out of this thing, and
yeah.
not sure what the copy is like to you. What's the signal like there?
Yeah, I'd say from your location, Mike, that's excellent. You're 10 over S9. There's a slight bit of noise coming in with you, but the audio is quite readable, not a problem at all. So you know where I am there. Whereabouts are you?
Yeah, I'm in Aldershot, of course, and my home PTH, and just in the upstairs part of the house. It's not a two-story or anything. It's a bungalow. So, but yeah, we've got a good path, of course, across the bay, and glad that you're copying me okay. I'm not sure if Mac can hear me. I think you're up on the mountain, Mac, if you can hear me. But in any event, you were mentioning about your catching up on your sleep from your trip. I think you were in India, I believe. I can relate to that. Many years ago, I was on business in Japan, and I'll tell you, when I got back, my sleep pattern was totally reversed, totally upside down, and it really took a couple days to get back to normal. So, if I could, Chuck, just swing quickly over to Mac. Maybe you can acknowledge whether he hears me. VA3 IMW, I believe it is, VE3KMQ.
Well, I've got some good news for you. You're a solid S9 to my station here on the West Mountain. There's a little hiss and crackle that comes in with it, but I think that's just band conditions or whatever. But quite correct. The trip back was a lot harder on me than trying to get used to the time change going over. Probably had a lot to do with a 20-hour stint in aluminum tube on the way back. 20 hours from the time we left Mumbai until we landed in Toronto, which included a technical stop in Frankfurt. Technical stop means they change the crew and add fuel, but they don't let anybody off the plane. Stay in your seats. Don't even get into the aisles. We're going to service the washrooms. We're going to replenish our food supplies, but everybody stay in their seats. Anyways, yes, so sitting in a chair for 20 hours with a couple of bathroom breaks in between, a mixture of movies and light dozing as much as you can really messes up your sleep patterns, especially when our hosts wanted to take us out Friday night for street food. And I think I got to bed around 4 o'clock in the morning. So in the space of 2 days, I had 4 mornings. Anyways, thanks, Mike. And there you go, S9. Back to you.
Yeah, okay, Mac. I do appreciate that signal report. And wow, that doesn't sound like much fun sitting in the plane for that period of time. Sounds like you were traveling west from what you described, flying to Frankfurt. In my case, from Japan, it was flying east. And a few times that I have flown east internationally, it's a real bear messing up your sleep patterns. Maybe it does the same traveling the other way too, but I can speak at least from that experience. Anyway, thanks for that, Mac, and with that, I'll swing it back to Chuck there. Thank you, Chuck, for letting me chat with Mac for a little bit on that. I do appreciate it. And with that, I'll listen along for a little bit. VA3CJZ, VE3KMQ.
Okay, very good, gentlemen. And Mike, before you go, I had heard that when you're flying, is it west back to hang on, from the west to the east, from the east back towards the west, it takes longer than the other way around because of the jet stream. Is that right?
I'm not sure. I can't speak to that accurately, but that could well be. It seems like I did hear something like that, but I can't remember which direction it was. But I do remember on my trip that time it flew from Toronto to destination was Tokyo, and it stopped for refueling in Alaska. So, but I'm not sure on that question there, Chuck. Back to you.
Okay, I think I heard it just a few months ago there before Christmas. Maybe it was last summer. Who knows? At my age, time just flies. But nonetheless, very interesting. Okay, Mike. Well, thank you so much for taking the time out and checking in with us here. And you have a great rest of the evening. And we'll hopefully catch you down the log on the weekend with the contest. All right, very good. So let's move down to Albert, Victor Alpha 3, Bravo Tango. Albert, come on in.
Hi, good evening, Chuck, and everybody on frequency. Not too much to report on my end here. Just busy with work and all that good stuff. With the weather being cold, I'm still working inside, so that's a bonus. Staying warm. Other than that, just a general check in there. Chuck, we'll hand it back over to you. VA3BT.
All right, very good, very good. So, how's that little company car working for you?
Good. I'm not complaining. Cheap on fuel.
Yeah, you got that right. I saw something online. It was somebody doing an interview on the news, and they were talking about the amount of charging stations that we should have as opposed to how many we do have. And the guy said at this stage of the game, we should have 100,000 charging stations, but we only have 36,000. So we're short about 64,000 charging stations. So we're not on the ball with that. So it'll be interesting to see. I know a lot of automakers are pausing their EVs and whatnot. A lot of them are doing crossovers into hybrids. I still think electric cars should be hybrids because if something goes wrong, at least you got uh, the other propulsion system.
I'll stick to gas. Look at Ford. Now they're going to start building the 2500 HDs. Think about that one.
What's that? What's an HD?
The heavy duty 2500.
Gas guzzlers.
Oh yeah.
Well, if you can afford the price of the vehicle, you should be able to afford the fuel. But yeah, well, we'll see. Anyhow, Albert, thanks for checking in, buddy. Anything else?
No. I'll be listening along through the net here, Chuck. We'll let you continue on there. VA3BT.
Okay, very good, Albert. So we'll clear with VA3BT and say hello to Wade, VA3NCA.
VA3CJZ, VA3NCA. Good evening, Chuck, and good evening, everybody on net. Glad I could make a net so far this week. I've been absent a little bit, but had to make sure I made at least the Wednesdays and the Fridays, and try to pick up some on the weekends. Hope everybody's doing well. And Mac, good to hear you. Glad you made it back in one piece there from overseas, and that you're recovering from the impact on your sleep. Other than that, I don't know. I guess Vanya posted that thing about with that video about using a Ethernet cable for a feed line, and got me remembering that one of the many things I have on my project bench is to put a whisper transmitter kit that I have on the air. Right. And at the time, I was thinking of just using a dipole from some TV coax that I had. So anyways, the guy's video was quite good. It talked about making up arbitrary impedance transformers. So I got off my butt after work today and took a crack at it, and I have something that seems to work to go from 50 ohms of the transceiver to 75 for the cable TV. So at some point, the next step would be to actually try it on the air. So we'll see where I get with that. Anyways, that was the only ham radio fun I've had so far today, other than now when I get to sit back and participate here in the AREG. Yeah, thanks for doing it there, Chuck. Back to you.
All right, very good there, Wade. And yes, we did miss you. I know I did on the weekend. Haven't heard you for a few days there. Glad you're just busy. That's what it is. Very good. Well, thanks for checking in, both on the YouTube stream as well as on the radio. And we always enjoy your participation in the trivia questions that we have and so on and so forth, and chatting up everybody and exchanging information. So thanks again, and glad to have you back. And so with that, let's say hello to Noel, VE3KDT.
VE3KDT, I almost missed that.
Are you listening on the YouTube stream there, Noel?
Yeah, I'm about 4 or 5 seconds behind you. So, just managed to swap it over. Yeah, feeling a little better. So I've been in bed sick the last couple of days. So this is my first time actually up and kind of out doing anything.
Yes. I know it's going around. My wife, like I said, got it. She's just starting. I think last night she started to feel crappy, and of course in the morning it's a little worse. But I guess that means on the weekend it'll be my turn. We'll have to wait and see. I might get lucky. You never know. But hey, I just posted. This is a picture of the McMurdo station in Antarctica, and a few days ago, our temperature was around 0 to -1, and it was like -2 in at McMurdo Station in Antarctica. So they're experiencing their summer while we have our winter, because they're at the South Pole, and that's when all the scientists go down there to do their testing and whatnot, because the weather is much more less, or should I say, it's much less dangerous than during their winters. I've seen where they have to tie a rope around each other to so they don't lose one another. Just walking, 100 feet, it gets pretty wild. So, yeah, relatively the same temperatures here as it is at Antarctica. My goodness. All right, Noel, I'm glad you're feeling better. And you got any plans coming up, or just taking it day by day?
I was just going day by day. Actually, when you were talking there about the hybrid vehicles, I was laughing. It hit a memory. A few years ago, had a work vehicle. It was a Silverado with a hybrid, and that thing was absolutely terrible because it had the full-size engine and then the hybrid on top of it. And then it weighed an extra ton, and it was just a piece of garbage.
Yeah, I remember when I was a subcontractor for an air conditioning company in Toronto, we had propane trucks, and man, that thing was gutless. I could barely make it up the Ancaster Hill. Uh, oh man, the steep one there. I forget what it's called, but the straight long run. And yeah, man, I was so glad to get rid of that vehicle. Anyways, all right, Noel. Well, thanks for jumping in. Much appreciated, sir. And look forward to your participation on the YouTube stream as well. Thank you so much. Anything else?
No, I forgot to throw in my VE3KDT and back to you and everything else. That in the last one. So we'll just pretend I did that, and I don't know if there was anyone else that you're picking up. And I already said my ending. Okay, bye.
All right, we do have a couple more in there. We've got Walter coming up next. VE3 Fox Hotel Echo. Walter, come on in. Uh-oh.
Hi there, Chuck. VA3CJZ. This delay messes me up. I'm sorry. This here old YouTube delay messes me up. Anyway, glad you're there. Glad the net's up and running, and I'm looking forward to your day in. And there you go. Have a nice evening, everyone. 7-3 VE3FHE. I'm clear.
Okay, Walt. Yes, I know. I like to. Well, I like to think that I try and give a few seconds while shifting over to someone else's call sign there. But if you're listening, there is a delay between this live transmission and the YouTube stream. Not much I can do about it, but actually, there is. I could get what is it, the Cat 6 or Cat 7 cable to give me my 1.5 gigahertz speed there, but all I've got is a laptop that's a little bit older. It's not that old. It's a solid state, but there is that 3 to 5 second delay depending uh, on your stream as well. Make sure you got it on high definition, and that helps out. Okay, so VE3 Fox Hotel Echo, Walt. By the way, Walt, your signal is full strength at my location here at the Center Mall. And so great job, great audio, and you're sounding good. Let's see if Jason is still there. Thanks for waiting. VE3 Zulu Juliet Charlie.
Good evening, Chuck, and everybody else on that. Of course, I'm still here, my friend. This is still early in the evening. Can't guarantee I'll be around for last call, though. Yeah, it was a work-from-home day, and it was an exceptionally long one. There's some frustrations going on with people breaking stuff that shouldn't be broken. But all that's behind me, and I'm sitting here playing with radio stuff, getting a bag ready to go with radio gear for the trip down south, and putzing around on the POTA site looking for parks to go and activate, and checking in on our good friend Arpad, who clearly got his APRS up and running again, and he is on the move today. Driving up into a state park on South Padre Island. So when I do the directions from where I'll be and where he'll be, it's about an hour away. So hopefully I can get him on 40 meters or get a little closer with a handy talkie or hit him on a local repeater out there and maybe get an eyeball QSO with our good friend Arpad.
All right. Sounds good. Yeah, an hour's drive. That's nothing. Yeah, I haven't checked Arpad in a couple of days. So thanks for the update. I'll be sure and check him out on the APRS. And that's right. You take off this weekend. Have you looked into the future to see what the weather's going to be?
That I have. And yeah, when it was originally booked, the weather was supposed to be 20 plus for the whole time I'm there. And I think on Tuesday we're down to a whopping high of 8 degrees Celsius. So still warmer than here, because I think when it's 8 there, it's going to be about minus 20 back here in the Hammer. But I'll take it. The sunshine and no snow will definitely do me some good. Other than that, I think it's 15 to 20 degrees the rest of the time I'm down there.
Yes, you must be talking about that polar vortex that's swooping down and supposed to bring frigid temperatures to us. But I got to tell you, so far this winter's been easy peasy. A little colder than expected earlier on, like I think in December we got a chill there. But yeah, overall I think it's no problem. And they're talking about La Nina, so we'll have to wait and see. But I wish you well on your travels, Jason. And maybe there's a hot spot that's not far away that you could go to. You never know. You could. Sometimes there's a few difference in degrees and temperature in one city to the next. I know I've experienced it. Anyhow, thanks again. Anything else?
No, sir. Thanks for doing this one. I'll stick around as much as I can, and yeah, when I'm down there any further south, then I'm in a different country yet again. I'll send it back to you. CLC can get in here. VE3ZJC, back to that.
All right, Jason. Thanks again for checking in. All right, then. So that's the end of my list. Let's see. Do we have any others who would like to check in to the weekly amateur radio exchange group? This is VA3CJZ.
VA3 Whiskey Papa Golf.
Victor Echo 3, Charlie Echo Uniform.
All right, two more stations there. I heard WPG and Charlie Echo Uniform. All right, let's bring in Chris, VA3 WPG.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Just tuned into the net at about 12 minutes after 8, so a little behind in the check-in today, but no radio activity today, just slow day today. I'll be listening along for the activities on the net for the rest of the net, and yeah, we'll just throw it back for now and keep it rolling. VA3 WPG.
Yeah, right there, Chris. I know I'm not, I haven't been quite active on the radio either for a little bit there, but I do manage to get about 3 contacts on average, 3 a day. And so it's kind of like an apple a day keeps the doctor away. So a couple of contacts keeps me happy. But anyways, very good, Chris. Yeah, I bet you can't wait to bring your bike back outside along with the nice weather there, Roger.
That might not be happening as soon as I thought. I got a leaky head gasket now, dripping a bit of oil, so got it raised on the main stand, and a little bit cold to be working on it down there because my parking spot is right by the exhaust fan on the garage, and the garage here is not really an enclosed garage. It's got big openings, and it's got metal bars on the windows, so it's kind of... yes, it's an indoor garage, but it's an exposed garage, and the fan is about, I'd say, big industrial fan, 5 or 6 feet tall, so it does a nice job of sucking the air from one side of the garage all the way to the other side where my bike's parked right in front of the fan, so yeah, I have to wait till it warms up a little bit to be working on cold metal.
Oh, I see. Well, you should have brought it into your house, your apartment there, and have it at the foot of your bed or in the living room. That way you can work on it whenever you want.
I did that before when I was on Barton Street on the main level. It was only one step up. I just pushed it up one step right in the door, right into the living room, took it apart for the winter, nice and warm. I would do that now, but there's an elevator here, and it's not going to fit in the elevator.
Oh, yes, that's right. We went through that once before. Yeah, oh, that's too bad. Unless you stand up the motorcycle, no? I know I brought a 750 Triumph down into the basement of my friend's house one winter because he let me stay there. And yeah, got to work on the bike throughout the winter. Bringing it down the basement was a little bit easier than taking it back out, but nonetheless, it can be done. So, anyways, all right. Well, I wish you a speedy recovery on your old bike there, and hope when you do the repairs, it stays sealed. Okay, Chris, thanks again. So let's go down to Burlington, I think it is. Tomas, VE3 Charlie Echo Uniform. I think you're on a portable, yes?
Good evening, Chuck, and everybody else on the net. Yeah, I'm on the portable in the other room here, so you probably can't hear me as well. Just a general
little check in there, being for the quad, and yeah, just keep it warm here. We got the space heaters on full. So yeah, how are you doing?
Well, I haven't had to turn on the space heaters over here, but I do have one not too far from where I'm sitting. Should I need it? I know sometimes when it really gets cold, uh, you got to crank the hell out of the furnace, and it doesn't really do much, it seems. So a space heater just in case is always good. How come you're using space heaters?
We just have electric heat here, Chuck. We do have baseboard heaters, but those suckers are 240 volts, 40 amps. We try not to use them because boy, that really shoots up the bank account for sure. So we got those small heaters that are like 800 watts. So it's just which is sufficient enough for the room. Got one in each room.
Ah, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I know a friend of mine, that's all he had in his townhouse there. Just the electric baseboard heaters. And I'm not sure what the voltage rating in that was for them, but yeah, times have changed since that was a while ago. So electricity, unless you take advantage at nighttime. I know I wait till after 7 p.m. to do any wash because we do have an electric dryer, and that that sucks up a lot of hydro too. So I hear where you're coming from there, Tom. And other than that, are you going to be in the VHF contest coming up this weekend?
I'm not aware of it. Can you fill me in?
Yeah, it's the ARRL January VHF contest. And so it starts with 6 meters, and then 2 meters, 70 centimeters, and then up from there, 1.2 gig, and so on. And so, yeah, even someone with a handy talkie can make contact with someone else on 2 meters or 440, and they can give them points.
Okay. Yeah, I think I remember that. That's on any of the frequencies there. Yeah, I should give it a go. And yeah, okay. Thanks for the info on that. Nothing else new at this time, Chuck. I'm going to be sitting here listening along and just watch a bit of TV there. And we'll pass it back to you there, Chuck.
All right, very good. And just to refresh your memory, the exchange will be like for me here in Hamilton. It'll be FN03 is all you need to reply. You can say the signal strength like 5.9, and then FN03 is the grid square for Hamilton, and whatever it is in your location, that's all you need for the exchange. So with that, Tom, you go have a nice cup of hot chocolate there, and thanks for checking in. Much appreciated, my friend. All right, so that clears my list. Let's see who else is out there would like to check in with us here on the weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group, AREG, for Wednesday, January 15th, 2025. This is VA3CJZ.
V3RWJ.
Speaking of 5.9 FN03, let's bring in Chris, VE3RWJ.
Hey, Chuck. Thanks for doing the net, as always. Always enjoy listening to it. Yeah, I'll be saying that a lot this weekend. Actually, it's just call sign and grid square. I'm pretty sure that's all you need to include there. But when it slows down, a bunch of us end up chatting, so it won't just be bang, 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 on to the next. Not much else to report. I just turned on the the laptop I have in the shack here for logging and programming radios and, for ham stuff. I haven't had it on in months, and so far I've installed 11 updates. So it's going to be doing that for a while, I think.
Yes, all the updates. Aren't they ending support for Windows 10 this year?
Yeah, this fall sometime. Windows 10, Office 2016, and I think Office 2019 as well. I think in October.
All right. Okay. Well, I sure hope they got all the bugs fixed and all the drivers out for Windows 11 because I switched over, a year ago, a little over a year ago to try it out, and not everything was working. And I had trouble switching back over to Windows 10 because I had waited past the time limit they give you to try it out. And so I was kind of screwed to go back to my original uh, OEM software. So yeah, I just hope they get Windows 11 working well before they force everyone to switch over.
Yeah, I don't know too much about that. I switched over and I stayed with 11. Can't say I've had any problems with it, but I don't think it's any better than 10. And I've tried to turn off as much extra crap as I can. The AI stuff and targeted advertising, and there's all kinds of junk they want on by default. So I've tried to kill a bunch of that. If the pattern holds, I'm sure you've noticed this over the years. Every second version of Windows seems to be a good one. So hopefully that means 12 will be great whenever 12 comes out.
Yes, you're right. It does seem that way. Now that you mention it, well, we'll just have to see what Bill Gates and his cronies are up to. But in any case, Chris, well, thank you so much for checking in with us tonight. And you're sounding great. You're full strength. And I even have a noise floor. When I started the net, I had an S4 noise floor. And I don't know what it is right now, but obviously, if you're full strength, I can't tell. So very good. Anything else?
Nope. You're not full quieting here because I have my local noise. And I'm not sure what time that started up this evening, but it does add about 3 S units of noise here. Anyway, that'll be fun on the weekend. I try and work everybody before that kicks in. Anyway, thanks for doing the net. We're going to listen along. V3 RWJ.
All right. Very good then. Well, I do have my power set to 30 or 35 watts. Let me check here. I think it's 30. Maybe we can go up to 35, see if that makes any difference at all. But I don't like to run it full strength when I'm doing the net. The cooling fan stays on for about 5 minutes after I'm done talking. She gets warm. All right, so that clears my list. Let's see if there's anybody else out there wishing to check in with us here on the weekly AREG net. This is VA3CJZ.
Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Kilo Zulu.
Did you get the short there, Chuck? I think it's Art.
Oh, no, I didn't catch that. And so I heard VA3 Charlie Kilo Zulu. Just stand by 1 second, Chris. And I believe that was Art in there. Are you leaving us there, Art?
Yes, I am, and wait to stay awake over here. I'm feeling good all day. Flu bugs are hitting up on me, and yes, I'm thinking everybody
Okay. I'm having trouble picking you up now. My noise floor is reaching up to S5, I guess. I think you said you're not feeling well and you're going to take off. Mac, is that right?
Yep, QSL. He's headed for bed. He's fighting the flu bug, and he's ready for some sleep. And he wanted to wish everybody a happy New Year as well. If you hear Rick on the net, just make sure that we pass along greetings from Art. I think that's covered it. And on behalf of Chuck and the rest of the AREG group, Art, you have yourself a great night's rest and speedy recovery. Back to you, Chuck.
Absolutely. Very good, Art. Well, take care, my friend. And remember, drink plenty of fluids, chicken soup, whatnot, and stay warm, bundle up, and you'll be over it soon. Thanks for checking in, Art. Much appreciated. Take care until next time. Roger. VE3KCI, VA3CJZ. All right, then. So let's go and say hello to Chris, waiting in the wings. Thank you very much, VA3CKZ.
Hey, good evening, Chuck. Thanks for picking me up. I've just been playing around with one of the old straight FM transmitter receivers, the old FT221, and I just put a new TR relay in it, and I hope it'll got me coming through there. Thank you.
Okay, Chris. Well, there seems to be an issue with your audio. You're either so loud that it's distorting, and then I think you may have moved the cord for the microphone, and it dropped right down to a whisper. So I don't know what's going on there, Chris.
Okay, we'll try it again. I just turned it down the mic gain. How is it now there, Chuck?
Yeah, you can bring it up a little bit. There, it's very low.
Okay, well, seems to be transmitting. That's one good sign. Anyway, on the old box, so I guess I got the TR working properly, but we'll have to clean up the rest of it, I guess.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe blow some air in with the connections there. But yeah, it seems to be either clipping or you got a short in the audio. But I heard most of that, Chris. Thank you so much for checking in.
Appreciate it, Chuck. Thank you very much. Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Kilo Zulu.
Okay, very good. All right, let's check in on YouTube there. I see Guy has checked in. No call sign. That's my cousin out of Ottawa. Hello, Guy. Comment ça va, mon ami? And then let's do another call out before we go to any trivia or on this day in history. This is VA3CJZ.
Victor Echo 3, Lima Bravo, India.
VE3MQ.
All right, got two more there. We got LBI and MQ. Let's say hello to Larry, VE3LBI.
Yep, evening all. Been listening along actually since the beginning of the net there. I was just trying to do something else at the same time, which failed. So anyway, I thought I'd get in here. Grandson was here this afternoon, obviously. We picked him up from school. And I don't know whether you mentioned it or not because I missed that part, but this weekend is Support Your Park weekends for POTA on Saturday and Sunday.
Oh yeah, and his ear, is it one ear or both ears there? Is it feeling better?
He's all cleared up. He says he feels great, and the ears are no longer hurting, so that's really good to hear.
Oh, very good, very good. Glad to hear that. All right. So Yeah, have you been on the radio?
No, Chuck, I haven't been on at all. I haven't even got the HS rev turned on. It's been sitting there idle for a couple of weeks now. I just, like I said, have other things I wanted to do. The radio wasn't getting in the way, but it was like, oh, I should probably pick the microphone up. And I thought, you know what? If I leave it off for a bit, I get my other little projects done.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, it's all good. Me, I only do maybe 2, 3, 4 contacts a day. That's it. Nothing big. So very good then. Well, thanks for checking in, Larry. You're early, but we'll take you.
All right, no problem. Thanks, Chuck. All right, pick up behind me there.
All right, and right behind Larry is Mike. It's MQ VE3MQ Tom. Come on in.
Good evening to everybody. Just so let me check in while I'm sitting here.
Ah, very good. So, how have you been? Your arm feeling a bit better?
Well, actually, it's really bothered me today. But I'm trying to get the rotator cuff to keep moving it so it don't stiffen right up on me.
Yeah. I remember as a kid there, I had a cast, but they had it bent they had it past the elbow. So my arm was at a 90-degree angle for like, 2 months? Man, when they took that cast off, do you know how hard it was to straighten my arm out? It was horrible. It was just almost as bad as having the broken wrist.
Yeah, well, I can straighten the arm out, but I cannot keep it straight and lift it in front of me or above my head.
Yeah. Well, that'll come with time there, Tom. Um, you know, if you could do physio at home, uh, to me, that it's much better than having to travel somewhere. And plus, nowadays, it's hard to get physio unless you're on social assistance. Even with having insurance, they give you a hard time. They want you to pay up front and then collect your money after, and it's just a hassle.
Well, plus there's a 13-week waiting list, and if you're the age of 0 to 19, you can get it no problem, or over the age of 65. Otherwise, they bitch and whine about it.
Oh, yeah. Well, Monday morning, I just found out my doctor is handing all of her patients over to a doctor from India, I believe. Not too thrilled about that. So I have to go in for a meet and greet with him. Not impressed. I had a female doctor for the last 30 plus years, and now her kids are all grown up and probably left the nest. And she's around my age. And so she's probably retiring. Her husband is a lawyer. And so they got coin, you know what I mean? They can retire early. So good for her, but bad for us.
Well, that's it. Okay, Chuck, I'm listening along, and I will not be around for the second round. So, 73VE3MQ.
All right, very good, Tom. Thanks for checking in. Take care. All right, anyone else would like to check in before we move on to On This Day? This is VA3CJZ. All right. Yeah, and Guy says they make you wait too. Absolutely. It's all about making you wait. That's for sure. All right, so I should go through the contest calendar, and that's what I'm going to do right now. We'll start with the Malaysia DX contest, and that's for sideband, for single sideband, and that's for 10 meters, 15, 20, 40, and 80. And yeah, that's worldwide, so anyone can participate. And that goes on from 0 Zulu time January 18th until 23:59 Zulu, January 18th. So it's a 24-hour contest. Next, we've got the Hungarian DX contest, and that's for CW and sideband. And for the bands 10 meters, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160. And that's the Hungarian DX contest. That's also a 24-hour contest, but it starts at 1200 Zulu, January 18th to 11:59 Zulu, January 19th. All right. And then there's the North American QSO party for sideband. And that's, let's see now, that is from 1800 Zulu, January 18th to 0559 Zulu. So basically 0600, January 19th. And that's geographic focus is North America, but participation is worldwide. And that's from 10 meters all the way through 160. So you have 10, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160. The North American Collegiate Championship, and that's for sideband, for 10 meters all the way through to 160. Oh no, yeah, that's right. The NA Collegiate Championship. What's the exchange? Okay. Name, state, province. Okay, cool. All right, and then that brings us to the ARRL January VHF contest, and that's for 50 megahertz and up into the microwave bands. So if you have 2 meters and 440 or 6 meter capability, you can participate, as well as 1.2 gigahertz and up. And all you need to know is your grid square. For us here in Hamilton, it's FN03 for most of us. And that's pretty much it, though. There's a couple other ones in there, small ones, but I was mainly focusing on the single sideband ones and the VHF one. So that's it for contests. If you want more information, please open up your web browser and type in contestcalendar.com. You can find all your information there. And so with that, is there anyone else out here that would like to make an announcement about anything they'd like to share? Please come now. One more thing, I'd like to mention once again, Huey has a repeater on top of a tall building here in town, and I believe the frequency is 442.412.50. So 442.412.50, and that's for DMR and FM. So you'll have to contact Huey to see how to get into the DMR. Oh, and the tone to get into the repeater is 131.8. All right. That's it for announcements then. Let's see now. Where do we go? Do we want to do a little bit of trivia first? Okay, we got the agoraphobic Adam enjoying listening from Middle Tennessee. Kilo Oscar 4, Hotel Papa Charlie. Good evening there, Adam. This is Chuck here in Hamilton, Ontario, VA3CJZ. We're here every Wednesday from 8 p.m. until 10 p.m. Welcome to the group. All right. Is there anyone waiting in the wings, waiting to check into the AREG net, the Amateur Radio Exchange Group? Please come now. Okay, I've just noticed that Wade VA3CJZ has uh, mentioned that it's Support Your Parks weekend this weekend. So one contact if you're a hunter, or one activation will get you a certificate for Support Your Parks. I'm guessing it's for winter 2025. So very good, Wade. Thanks for that. All right. Here are, before we start on this day, I've got a few unusual laws in Canada. Okay. Now, some of these are still on the books, but nonetheless, these are what I have here. The Halifax Taxi Dress Code. Taxi drivers in Halifax, Nova Scotia must wear shoes and socks, keep their clothes neat, and not wear a t shirt. Interesting. I like that law. And we have a crime comic law. In the 1940s, the Criminal Code of Canada prohibited the printing, publishing, or distribution of comic books that depicted crime. Huh. Also, in the Canadian Currency Act, it's illegal to use more than 25 pennies in any transaction. Is that right? Hmm. Okay, here's one from the Ontario Innkeepers Act. If you own a horse and can't pay your bill, the restaurant can keep your horse and sell it if the bill remains unpaid for 2 weeks. Oh, back in the days where, your horse was everything. You made sure and paid your bill, I guess. And here's another one for the Maritimes. In Bathurst, New Brunswick, trick-or-treating law. You are not allowed to trick-or-treat if you're over 16 years old. They should have that here in Ontario. And here's one concerning the Queen. Now it would be for the King, but under the Criminal Code, you're not allowed to intentionally frighten or alarm the King/Queen here, or you could go to prison for up to 14 years just for scaring the monarch.
Oh.
14 years for you. All right, there's a Montreal's no turning on red law. This, in case you didn't know, in the province, La Belle Province of Quebec, everywhere, you must stop and wait until the light turns green before you can make a right turn. And apparently, they don't tell you what it is, but there is a set of laws about maple syrup to keep fake maple products off of Canadian store shelves. And my last one here, this is a British Columbia law. Until the year 2002, you couldn't stand up while having a drink in a restaurant. All right. So let's move over to on this day. And we're at week, where are we here? We're at week 203 that I've been doing on this day. It's quite popular, and we're going to keep doing it. So with that, we'll start with today's famous birthdays. And we start with the year 1841, born January 15th. In 1841, Frederick Stanley was a British politician, and he was Governor General of Canada between 1888 and 1893. And he also presented hockey's Stanley Cup to Canada, hence the name Frederick Stanley. And he was born in London, England, and died in 1908. Okay, next, born on this day in 1908, the same date as Frederick Stanley, we have Edward Teller. He was born in 1908, and he was an Hungarian-American physicist known as the father of the hydrogen bomb, the Manhattan Project, to be exact, born in Budapest, Hungary. Now, this is not to be mistaken with the father of the atomic bomb, J. Oppenheimer. Two different bombs here, the hydrogen and the atomic bombs. Next, born 1 year later in 1909, Jean Bugatti, German-born automobile designer, born in Cologne, Germany. He died in 1939. Wow, he's only 30. You all have heard of the Bugatti car. It's one of the most expensive cars in the world. Nice sleek curves. All right, next, Martin Luther King was born on this day, Jr., that is, born in 1929. He was assassinated in 1968. He was an American clergyman and leader of the civil rights movement, and he won a Nobel Prize for peace, I guess, in 1964, born in Atlanta, Georgia. Let's go to the entertainment industry now with music. Ronnie Van Zant was born on this day, 1948. Sadly, died in a plane crash, 1977. Ronnie Van Zant is an American rock musician with the band Lynyrd Skynyrd, born in Jacksonville, Florida. Who remembers a female that used to be famous for saying coochie coo?
What a sweetheart.
That would be Charo. Charo turns 74 today. Charo was very good, Guy. Was born on this day, 1951. She's a Spanish-American actress and comedian. She was on the TV show Chico and the Man. She was on The Love Boat. And I don't know how many times she was on Johnny Carson, but she was also a flamenco guitarist. Of course, she was born in Spain, and it says here the year of her birth is disputed because there were some women back in the day that did not reveal their birth year because that would reveal how old they were. I think Zsa Zsa Gabor was another one. Drew Brees is 46 years old today. Born in 1979, he's an American football quarterback. Doesn't say he's in the Hall of Fame here yet, but he might be. Born in Austin, Texas. And finally, we have that Pitbull, a rapper, Hispanic American rapper. He was born in Miami, Florida in 1981. He was quite popular, I think, during the early 2000s. All right, well, that's it for birthdays. Do we have any questions or comments or check-ins for the AREG net? Please come now. All right, thank you, Guy, for letting me know that Charo was also on the Carol Burnett show. Yeah, I forgot about that. All right, let's move on to who died today in history, January 15th. And we start with 1915. And Fanny Farmer is who died in 1915. I'm not making this up. Fanny Farmer was an American culinary pioneer who revolutionized modern cooking through the introduction of precise measurements. You know, half a cup this, quarter cup of that. And she dies of complications of a stroke at the age of 57 back in 1915. Patrick O'Malley died on this day, 1934. He was a U.S. policeman who was killed by John Dillinger, the famous bank robber. Next, Elizabeth Short died in 1947 on this day. The name might sound familiar. She's an American victim in the Black Dahlia case. She was known as the Black Dahlia. Elizabeth Short, murdered at the age of 22. Quite gruesome, too. I believe she was her body was mutilated. Let's put it that way. Meyer Lansky is next. He died in 1983 at the age of 80. He was a Polish-born American mobster known as the mob's accountant. I thought he was Jewish. Maybe he's Polish Jewish. Polish born American mobster. Yeah. Died of lung cancer at the age of 80. Yeah, that's right, Guy. He was quite smart, that guy. Next, Minnesota Fats died on this day, 1996. That's not his real name. His real name is Rudolph Wander One Jr. He was an American billiard player and entertainer. He was 82 when he died in 1996. James Hillier is next, dying in 2007. He was a Canadian American inventor who co created the electron microscope back in 1938. James Hillier was 91 when he died. Next, we've got Grizzly Adams, dying on this day in 2016. His real name is Dan Haggerty. Of course, he played in that TV series Grizzly Adams. Dies of cancer at the age of 73. All right, in 2017, Jimmy Superfly Snuka passed away. He was a Fijian-born American professional wrestler and dies at the age of 73. There's a very sad story attached to this. Superfly Snuka was indicted and arrested in September of 2015 on third-degree murder and involuntary manslaughter charges in relation to the May 1983 death of his girlfriend and mistress, Nancy Argentino, in Allentown, Pennsylvania. He pleaded not guilty, but was found unfit to stand trial in June of 2016 due to dementia. And he was also terminally ill with abdominal issues. And so his charges were dismissed on January 3rd, 2017, and he died 12 days later. I used to love watching that guy wrestle, but yeah, sad story. Passing away on this day in 2019, we have Carol Channing. She was an American comic actress. You may remember her. She used to sing Gentlemen Prefer Blondes and Hello, Dolly. used to be very heavy on the makeup. She dies at the age of 97. And we end with Rocky Johnson dying on this day in 2020. He's a Canadian pro wrestler and father of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. So does that make The Rock part Canadian? Yeah. So Rocky Johnson, Canadian pro wrestler, father of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, with Tony Atlas, first black champions in WWE history. And he dies of a pulmonary embolism at the age of 75. And that's it for people dying on this day. Any questions, comments, or anyone wishing to check in? Please come now.
VA3CJZ.
Hey, there he is. VA3CJZ. Vanya, come on in. How are you?
Good evening, Chuck, and everybody on net. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. I'm doing well. I spent a little bit of time, like most of my time today, actually looking for a few things. I ordered the animal gaskets a little while ago, and I remember receiving them. I remember they came in a little plastic Ziploc bag, and I put them on a safe place. And you know what? For life of me, I just can't find the damn thing. Like it's somewhere like around, when I mingle all the time, but I just don't know where that somewhere is. The good thing they're not gonna be lost. I'm gonna find them probably when I don't need them. But that's the highlight of today. Monday was interesting. My son got into anaphylactic shock, so we spent most of the afternoon in the emergency. So, but I worked out well, so he recovered fairly quick, and we were home by the late that night. But worked out well. So other than that, there's not much on my end. I'm trying to kind of tidy up around the desk here and finish a few projects. What I started working on a little while ago, but anyways, I'm spending my time on that stuff which they kind of come unexpected. But other than that, all is well. How's Chuck doing?
Oh, I'm doing okay, Vanya. I'm just sorry to hear about your son going into shock there. Was it low blood sugar or anything?
No, it's allergy on something. So there's a good chances that he picked something somewhere, and they just didn't agree with him, and he got all swollen. You know how it goes. You get all swollen, like the head, neck, and everything around it. And I have a picture of him, like his head doubled up, like. So my wife, luckily, she was at home, and she kind of clued in what's going on, like a lot earlier than I did. And we took him to that campus on King Street, and they treat him there fairly quick and very well. So that worked out good. Yeah, he have like a few severe allergies on a few things, and I guess one of them got to him. I don't know how, but we are very careful in the house, so it could be that either he picked something from somewhere, but we'll find out soon enough.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry to hear that. I'm glad he's better. And as far as misplacing something, Vanya, I've been there. I tell you more than once. You put something in a safe place, and yeah, turns out it's pretty safe because you can't find it. But the good news is, it's in the house or wherever the safe place is, and you will find it eventually. But it's usually not when you want it. So, like they say, you can't have your cake and eat it too, I guess. That's the saying. So nice to hear you in there. Thanks for checking in, Vanya. Anything else for us?
No, really. I remember how long time ago you told me about those quiet fans. So I eventually ordered one for my power supply. So with a little bit of luck, by the time when the net is finished later on today, I'm gonna be done replacing the loud one with the quiet one. So that's on my agenda for today. So only thing it puzzles me that it comes with the 3 wires, so it probably have like a control speed, but I just have to figure out what is the full speed and cannibalize one of the cables which came with and go from there.
Yep, that's exactly what I did. I just used the 2 and rigged it up so that it, just stays on all the time. It might be for temperature control. I'm not sure. But yeah, very good. Yeah, I'm sure you'll be happy if you had a noisy fan. Uh, any change, anything that's less noisy is it's music to your ears. So good luck with that. Okay, Vanya. Well, thanks again for checking in, sir, and maybe maybe we'll hear you throughout the week or on the weekend there on the radio. We're going to be having the ARRL January VHF contest. So a lot of guys on 2 meters and 440 will be looking for points.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'll give points as many people as I can. So I don't have any big plans on the weekends. It does looks like even the weekend and the next week is gonna be also cold. So we will see what we're gonna do. But anyways, back to you, Chuck.
All right. Well, Wade, VA3NCA, is on YouTube there, and he just wrote, Vanya, you will find it, the thing that you lost there, you will find it in the last place you look. Mostly because once found, you won't keep looking. Yeah. So good luck with that. Okay, Vanya, thanks again. Is there anyone else out there wishing to check in with us here on the AREG Net, the Amateur Radio Exchange Group? This is VA3CJZ. All right. You should go on YouTube there, Vanya. I think Noel, VE3KDT, is talking about a fan as well. He said he's used Corsair maglev fans for quiet computer. Yeah, they can have some pretty loud fans in computers. Yep, absolutely. All right then.
No, this is 8 centimeters square or whatever the thing is. I believe it's the same one which you recommended, what you used for your power supply for your something, and
yeah,
because I put it in Amazon checkout and I never used it. So, but unfortunately for me, it didn't come with any. It came with the cables and connectors, but no wiring instruction which wire is what, because it does have 4 wires. From what I see, if I see it feel like 2 blacks, green and or blue and yellow, so a little bit more light here in the basement. But I know the yellow is like a that frequency thing to regulate the speed. I don't know what other tools are, but we'll figure out. Like it's the worst comes to worst, like you'll let the smoke go, but we'll see.
yeah. All right, very good then. Okay, I'd like to say goodnight to agoraphobic Adam, also known as Kilo Oscar 4, Hotel Papa Charlie, out of Middle Tennessee. Take care and stay warm. Okay, and so let's see. Anyone else out there waiting in the wings would like to stop in and say hi? Please come now.
Victor Echo 3, Tango, Whiskey, Mike.
Victor Echo 3, Tango Whiskey, Mike. My goodness, they're coming out of the woodwork. Tracy, come on in.
Hey, Chuck, good night or good evening to you and everybody else on net. Thanks for letting me in. Everybody's got good signals in here tonight. Just thought I'd come in and say hi, and I haven't had a chance to chat with you, so Happy New Year.
Absolutely, there, Tracy. Nice to hear you. You're sounding great. You're full. You're just banging in here, full strength, great audio down by the Center Mall. And Happy New Year to you, sir, and your family. And what have you been up to?
This time of year, it's all family stuff, Chuck. I don't get out to play radio much, but hopefully I'm getting back into it. I might head out for some not Canada Winter Contest. I missed that. The Winter Field Day is coming up in a couple of weekends. I'm
That's right.
hoping to get out for a few hours. Do you do any of that stuff, Chuck?
Well, if we only have one vehicle here for the wife and I, and she basically needs a vehicle every day. And so it's difficult for me to get a hold of a vehicle. I'm the type of guy like, sure, a ride is nice, but it's also nice to be able to just say, you know what, I got to go. See you later. Bye. And just get in your car and go. And so I find it challenging, but I have gone out to Dundurn Park last year with a group of 18 other operators, and we did a POTA activation at Dundurn Park. That was a lot of fun, and I think I'm going to make an effort to go again at either the next one coming up or the one in the summer.
Oh, I think I might have made contact with you that day when you were out there. There's a whole gang of you. That was that. I got my hats off to you guys. That's got to be a confusing type of event.
Yeah, well, we got it under our belt now, and it's the next one. Well, they did another one just not long ago over at Battlefield Park. There had issues with high noise floor, but they certainly were successful in the end. But it gets easier the more you do it. You don't necessarily have to put everybody on. But you communicate that there are X amount of operators there, and it's all good.
It sounds like a real experience. I never tried something like that myself, but it sounds like you guys had a lot of fun. Well, listen, Chuck, I won't keep it. Thanks for bringing me in. Always nice to catch up with you, have a quick little chat, and thanks again for doing the net. I'm going to pass it back to you, and you can move on down the list. VA3CJZ from VE3TWM73.
Okay, Tracy, 7-3, sir. Nice to hear you, as I mentioned earlier. Take care until the next time. Maybe we'll hear you on the weekend for the ARRL VHF, January VHF contest there, Tracy.
Hey, if I'll have the radio on, I don't think I'll get out for it, but if I hear you, Chuck, I'll certainly try to give you a point.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, I know there will be some people doing Rove in their car there, so that's always a lot of fun. I really enjoy that. Okay, thanks again. So we'll clear with VE3TWM. Anyone else waiting in the wings would like to check in to our weekly net? Please come now. All right. Well, that brings us back to on this day. And where are we? We're here on this day. And we're now at the section of today's historical events. Events that happen today in history, January 15th. Let's start off with the year 1535. King Henry VIII declares himself head of the church in England. Isn't that nice? I think that was because of the whole marriage thing in the Catholic Church. So he decided, you know what? I'll fix that. I am the Pope. Well, maybe not the Pope, the head of the church in England. There you go. All right. Next, let's go to the year 1541. And we have King Francis I of France commissions Jean-Francois Roberval to settle the province of New France. Now, I looked it up, and New France is most of Quebec and the Maritimes. Yeah, you'd have to look it up, but the province of New France was interesting, to say the least. All right, next, let's go to the year 1559, and Elizabeth I is crowned Queen of England in Westminster Abbey. Next, on this day in the year 1600, French King Henry IV grants military captain Pierre Chauvin de Tontuy a 10-year commission for the fur trade in New France. He goes on to found the doomed colony of Tadoussac. Now, I had to research this. Tadoussac is actually a place in Quebec that's at the mouth of the uh, uh, St. Lawrence River and the Saguenay River, just northeast of Quebec City. It is. Tadoussac is the oldest continuously occupied European settlement in Canada. And it was established, like I mentioned, in the year 1600. The first permanent French settlement in Canada was Quebec City, founded by Samuel de Champlain in 1608, 8 years later. And I just learned today that elevators were steam powered. In 1861, the steam elevator is patented by Elijah Otis. We've all heard of the Otis Elevator Company. Well, that's the guy. Can you imagine steam powered elevator? That's cool. All right, 1863, the first U.S. newspaper is printed on wood pulp paper, and it was called the Boston Morning Journal. Now, if they didn't use wood pulp paper, I wonder what paper they used. That'd be interesting. All right, in 1892, on this day, basketball rules are first published in Triangle magazine and was written by none other than James Naismith. James Naismith is the inventor of basketball, and he was a Canadian American. He was born here but went to the U.S. to teach phys ed out of school, and that's where he invented basketball. So most Americans will tell you that they invented it, but, it's splitting hairs. And then in 1919, on this day, 2 million gallons of molasses floods Boston, Massachusetts in the Great Molasses Flood when a storage tank burst, drowning 21 people and injuring 150. I can just see their tombstones now. Drowned in molasses. Ooh. Okay. How many? 2 million gallons. Wow. And we go from a big number, 2 million, down to 2 inches. In 1932, a record snowfall of 2 inches in the city of Los Angeles, California. They do get snow there. That's why you'd be better off in the southern portion of Florida. All right, on this day in 1934, while robbing the First National Bank in East Chicago, Indianapolis, John Dillinger is shot several times by Officer William O'Malley, but survives because he is wearing a bulletproof vest. This is back in 1934. All right, 1943, 1,000 workers complete the air conditioning system for the Pentagon. And the first modern air conditioner was invented in 1902 by Willis Haviland Carrier. So if you see a air conditioner with the name Carrier on it, you know it's a good one. It's considered the You know, the Cadillac of air conditioners, it's the Carrier. And at the same time, as the air conditioning is in the Pentagon, it has another. I have another story here that says, same year, 1943, world's largest office building, the Pentagon, is completed to house the U.S. military. That's not to house privates and corporals. It's for the higher ups, all the planners and all the bureaucracy there, all the generals. All right. Oh, and that was during World War II in 1943. In 1945, it says here every Amsterdamer gets 3 kilograms of sugar beets as part of their rations. And then, as I mentioned earlier, the Black Dahlia is found dead. On this day in 1947, the brutalized corpse of Elizabeth Short, the Black Dahlia, was found in Limerck Park, Los Angeles, California. In 1950, Red Wings rookie goalie Terry Sawchuk records his first of 115 career NHL shutouts as Detroit beats the New York Rangers 1-0 at Madison Square Garden. A year later, 1951, Ilse Koch, also known as the Bitch of Buchenwald, is sentenced to life imprisonment by a West German court. If I'm not mistaken, she was the wife of a commandant at a camp, and she used to use the skin of dead prisoners to make lampshades. I'm not making it up. All right. Back in 1953, 16-car Federal Express train loses its brakes and crashes in Washington, D.C. station. So that's FedEx, folks, the Federal Express train, the FedEx. Oh, dear. All right, in 1964, Major League Baseball executives vote to hold a free agent amateur draft, officially known as Major League Baseball First Year Player Draft in New York City. Here's another baseball story. Willie Mays becomes the highest paid. In 1964, San Francisco Giants make champion outfielder Willie Mays the highest paid player in baseball when they sign him to a new $105,000 per season contract. Good for him. Here's something you may or may not know about Ed Sullivan. In 1967, the Rolling Stones appear for the fifth time on the Ed Sullivan Show, reluctantly agree to alter their lyrics of the song "Let's Spend the Night Together." Ed Sullivan was famous for making his performance change the lyrics of music he didn't like, and he tried it with the Doors, and which Jim Morrison said, "Yeah, sure." And the song was "Girl, We Couldn't Get Much Higher." They wanted him to change that. And sure enough, when he performed it, he kept it the same. He was never invited on Sullivan again. All right, here we go. In 1973, 4 Watergate burglars plead guilty in federal court. And then a year later, in 1974, to the day, it was on this day that an expert panel reports 18.5-minute gap in the Watergate tape and 5 separate erasures. Yeah. Yeah, that was probably the CIA or somebody, FBI. All right. Okay, let's stay. Let's stay with the year 1974. We have the TV sitcom Happy Days, created by Gary Marshall and starring Ron Howard, Henry Winkler, Marion Ross, and Tom Bosley. Begin a 11-year run on ABC. The Fonz. I remember watching that quite faithfully back in the 70s. A year later, 1975, pioneering American female comedian Phyllis Diller gets a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I've been to Hollywood and I've seen the stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I've also been to the Grauman's Chinese Theater, where they have the handprints in cement of a lot of older famous Hollywood stars. I mean, yeah, we're talking the older generation of Hollywood uh, stars. All right. Also in 1975, Space Mountain opens at Disney World in Orlando, Florida. And I was there in 1975 at Disney World, Orlando. And I didn't go there until March break. And I did get to go on Space Mountain. So, yeah, I was one of the first to go on it. All right, let's go to 1977, and we have the Coneheads debuting on Saturday Night Live on this day. It must have been a Friday. All right, in 1981, the police drama Hill Street Blues premieres on NBC. I remember watching that quite regularly as well when I could. All right, 1986 now. Montreal's rookie goaltender, Patrick Roy, records his first 66 career NHL shutouts in the Canadiens 4-0 win against the Winnipeg Jets at the Forum. So Patrick Roy makes his debut. Maybe not his debut, but that was his first shutout. Yeah, first of 66. All right, let's jump to 1992. A cleaning woman finds intimate photos of Sarah Ferguson with a U.S. man. Sarah Ferguson was married to Prince Andrew. And I think once she found out he was involved in the Epstein deal, she left him. And of course, Prince Andrew is a disgraced monarch nowadays. He is the youngest son of Queen Elizabeth II, and he is brother to King Charles. So basically, Prince Andrew is the only major name that has been punished, shall we say? Not very much, but nonetheless, you don't hear about any other big names coming out since the Jeffrey Epstein deal. All right. In The Hague, the Netherlands, in 1994, a motorist with 0.51% alcohol in his blood breaks the Dutch record. The previous record was 0.47% alcohol. My goodness. You'd think someone would be dead of alcohol poisoning from that, right? High score. Yeah, that's a high score. All right. And then almost at the age of 70, in 1994, Queen Elizabeth falls off her horse and breaks her left wrist. 70 years old, 68 she was at the time. No, hang on. Yeah, she would have been 68, I think. Wow, still. All right, some space news. In 1997, the space shuttle Atlantis docks with the Mir space station. Mir was a space station operated by the Soviet Union and Russia from 1986 to 2001. It was the first long term research station in orbit and held the record for the longest continuous human presence in space. And for comparison, I researched the ISS, and the first ISS module was launched in 1998 with major components delivered by Proton and Soyuz rockets and the space shuttle. All three. Long term occupancy began on the 2nd of November 2000. In 2005, an intense solar flare blasts X rays across the solar system. Also, in 2005, on the same day, ESA, so that's the European Space Agency's Smart 1 lunar orbiter, discovers elements such as calcium, aluminum, silicon, iron, and other surface elements on the moon. On this day in 2009, Chelsea Sullenberger lands a U.S. Airways Flight 1549 on the Hudson River shortly after takeoff. Due to malfunction from LaGuardia Airport in New York, all passengers and crew members survive in what becomes known as the Miracle on the Hudson. I watched that live. That was crazy. All right, in 2019, Chinese scientists confirmed they have germinated a cotton seed on the moon on board the Chang 4 lander. Remember last week when I told you cotton balls, when you pick some cotton off the plant, in the center, in the core, there's a seed. And that's why the cotton gin machine comes in. All right. In 2021, the global death toll from COVID-19 pandemic passes 2 million and its true total is likely much, much higher. All right, 2 more to go. In 2022, the underwater volcano Hunga Tonga, Hunga Hapai, violently erupts with 20 kilometers of ash plume, sending tsunami over nearby Tonga, with shockwaves heard in New Zealand. Wow. And my last entry here is in 2023. The LA Lakers' LeBron James surpasses 38,000 NBA career points, joining only Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So that's it for On This Day. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did researching it and telling you fine folks about it. Do we have any questions or comments or check-ins for tonight's AREG Net? Please come now.
Hey, Chuck, it's Cal, VA3CJZ. Just listening in. Thanks for doing that. Nothing much to say, just a quick number for your account. Again, VA3CJZ. Thanks for doing that.
All right, Cal, I got you loud and clear over here by the center. VA3CDV, VA3CJZ, and you're check-in number 20 tonight. Thank you for rounding out the number, Cal.
Perfect. Have a great evening. 73.
All right, 7-3. Thanks, my friend. Take care. Stay warm, and we'll talk to you again soon. Any other check-ins before we do last round? Please come now.
VA3 NFG.
VA3 Mike Hotel Victor.
All right, I heard two more there, NFG and MHV. Let's bring in Steve, VA3NFG.
Good evening, Chuck. Hope you got some kind of a copy on me here. Just transmitting off the Bofang here in the living room. Not the best spot in the house to be transmitting off this portable, but I just got home from work and I really don't feel like moving at this moment. Anyhow, that's it, Chuck. No traffic. Thanks for doing the net. Back to you.
All right, Steve. Nothing like transmitting from your lazy boy or your couch. Very good, sir. You're an S9 to my location there, so good job.
Oh, S9. Yeah, I was figuring on an S1 or an S3. Okay, very good. Long live the lazy, Chuck. What can I say? Thanks again, VA3NFG.
All right. Take care, Steve. And right behind Steve is Mark, VA3MHV. Come on in, Mark.
Good evening, Chuck, and everybody on net. Just to check in for the log, Chuck, not much to report here. NFG and I just clocked out of a PM shift, so we joined you in about the middle of on this day and just listening along here. Just wanted to give you a check-in.
All right. Very good. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. And you know, I do stream the net on YouTube. If you want to listen to the beginning or any of my nets, just go to YouTube and put my call sign in there, and you can listen to us. There's a clock on the on all the cameras that I have online, and so you can move the slider at the bottom of the video feed, and you can move forward and backwards and listen to yourself if you like. Right now, it's 9:52 p.m. If you want to go to the YouTube stream and move the slider to where it says 9:51, that'll be when I picked you up there. So just for your info. But you probably already know that. Hope you had a good day at work, my friend. Thanks for checking in. Anything else?
No, that's it, Chuck. Just want to give you one for the log, and yes, I am aware of the YouTube stream. So, thanks for doing it, and we'll be listening again next week. Thank you.
All right, very good, Mark. Thanks again. And you too. Stay warm. All right. Anyone else that would like to check in to our weekly net is welcome to join us. This is VA3CJZ. All right, then. So let's go to the top of the list and do a quick 7-3 round. I know a few of you have gone to bed or getting ready. So let's see who we got. Art already said goodnight. VE3 Kilo Charlie India. Let's go to Mac. VA3 IMW.
Yeah, VA3 IMW still here, Roger. And thanks for filling in the gap on a Wednesday evening. Great entertainment for all of us. And I kind of missed out on the interactive, what do you call it, the trivia stuff. But the questions and answers that you did provide were certainly mind benders and twisters. So all good there. Thanks for doing it, Chuck. I'll be on the 446-125 Simplex frequency tomorrow night for the Lake Ontario Radio Club net, 7 o'clock, 446-125 Simplex, and we'll be looking forward to everybody's check-in there. Back to you.
All right, very good, Mac. And yes, I am looking forward to checking in with you on your net tomorrow, and that'll be at 7 p.m. on the Simplex frequency of 446.125. It's a great way to test out your antennas and your radio capabilities, and just know that repeaters will not always be available during an emergency, you may need to use Simplex. So it's a good way to test out how your equipment is working. Looking forward to it, Mac. Thank you for checking in and your help with the relays and everything. So take care, my friend. Hopefully your body gets back into its rhythm, and you'll be back to normal. And so with that, let's clear with Mac and go and see if Albert is still around. VA3 Bravo Tango. Albert, you still there?
Yeah, we're still here listening along there. It's pretty much almost bedtime there. We're close to it. Anyways, good net there, Chuck. Thanks for being thanks for being there, and thanks for doing it. 7-3 there, everyone. VA3BT.
All right, Albert. Have a hot shower for me. I think I need a shower tonight. Okay, Albert, VA3 Bravo Tango. Thanks. Take care, my friend. We'll talk to you soon. Next, let's go to Wade. We'll give him a second to hear the message on YouTube there and and get to the microphone. VA3NCA. Wade.
VA3CJZ, VA3NCA. I put up often with the little echo there by having the radio just quietly on and the YouTube stream up a little bit louder. So that way I can get to the radio usually, unless I'm off doing something else with it in earshot. But anyways, yes, I'm here. 7-3, Chuck. Thanks for doing it yet again. It's a great way to spend a Wednesday. And the public service announcement there, I think I heard Larry mention it very briefly, but and I mentioned it there on YouTube. Yep, this weekend is Support Your Parks Weekend, the winter edition. Starts at midnight Zulu on Saturday, which for us is 7 p.m., I believe, 7 p.m. Eastern time here on the Friday. And it runs for the next 2 days, finishing up Zulu on midnight Zulu on Sunday, which is 7 p.m. our time Sunday. So if you get the chance, at least go out and hunt a park on those 2 days. And if you are feeling especially willing to brave the cold, then go out and consider activating a park and getting the activation side of the award. But anyways, should be a good weekend, and thanks for running the AREG here, Chuck, and I'll send it back to you, VA3NCA.
Yeah, absolutely. If you can manage to do both, do an activation and do hunting, you'll get two. So very good. Thank you for that information, Wade. And thanks for making the time out of your busy schedule to join us here on the AREG Net. Thanks again. Take care, and we'll talk to you again soon. All right, next, let's go to Walt. VE3 Fox Hotel Echo. Last call, Walt.
Well, thanks there, Chuck, again for a wonderful Wednesday evening. Good evening there, Stephen, VE3NFG. Have a good evening, folks on the net. 730 VE3FHE. I'm clear.
All right, very good, Walt. Much appreciate your check-in and participation. Always a pleasure. Take care, my friend. Let's see if Jason is around. Maybe, maybe not. VE3ZJC, Texas bound, coming up.
Yes, sir. I'm still around. Thanks for doing the net, Chuck. Do appreciate it. And 7-3 to you and everybody else on frequency. 7-3.
All right, Jason, 7-3. And will we hear you again before you take off?
Yep, I should be around both tomorrow and I should be around for the reg too. Might be a little late getting in. We'll see. At least I should make it last call. But yeah, I'll still be around departure. I don't fly out until Saturday morning.
All right, very good. Well, if I don't speak to you, safe travels and happy trails. Okay, take care, Jason. All right. I'd like to thank everyone who checked in on the YouTube stream. There's quite a bit tonight. We had Wayne B out of Mississauga, VA3FMB. We also had Noel, but he checked in on both. Vanya, Wade, our friend from Middle Tennessee, Adam. You're in the log, sir. Thank you so much for checking in. And sorry if I left anyone out, but thank you very much. So with that, let's go to Noel, VE3 Kilo Delta Tango for last call.
VA3CJZ, VE3KDT. Yeah, 7 threes to you and everyone. Thanks for doing the net. Had a lot of fun. And yeah, back to you. That's it.
All right, very good. Can't wait to hear James back on the radio one of these days. And so you take care and enjoy them while they're young, my friend. They grew up very fast. All right, so we'll clear with Noel. And let's see, Dave DCS was in Magnolia, Texas. And so he's gone 7-3. Let's see if Chris, VA3WPG, is there.
Yes, VA3 WPG. Was a couple minutes late to the net tonight. Didn't think I was out. Was there trivia tonight?
No. I think I only did dumb laws or unusual laws in Canada before I went on this day.
Okay, I didn't miss anything. Okay, all right. Well, all right then. I guess for that we listen to that, good night, and we'll say 73 to everybody, and have a good one. We'll catch you on the next one. VA3 WPG.
All right, very good, Chris. Thank you so much for following along. And yeah, I was looking at the time, and there wasn't really much time to do trivia, and so I just did that little bit about unusual laws in Canada, and then went straight into on this day in history. So thanks for joining us, Chris. Take care, my friend. Stay warm. We'll talk to you again soon. And I believe Tom in Burlington has gone to bed, but let's give him a shout. VE3 Charlie Echo uniform. All right. How about Chris? VE3RWJ. Chris, are you still around? I'll give you a few seconds. All right. Let's go to the other Chris. VA3 Charlie Kilo Zulu. Are you still around? VE3 LBI. Larry.
Still here. Thanks for doing it. Appreciate it. And I was listening to some of the older stuff that was out there for some of the old laws and stuff. My dad had a couple he looked up. Anyways, again, thanks for doing it, Chuck. We should hear you probably tomorrow on the other net there on Simplex. So,
yep.
E3 LBI clear.
Yep. Very good, Larry. Thanks. And yeah, there's one law. I don't know if it's Canadian or American, but I do know that there's one that's always stuck into my brain for some reason. And that is when you get released from prison, they have to give you a horse and a gun. I don't know about bullets though, but they give you a horse and a gun and send you on your way. And that law was still on the books when I think 20 years ago when I heard about it. So some laws that are still written, but are pretty much obsolete. So it's interesting. All right, let's see if Vanya's still there. VA3XLJ. Vanya, last call.
Hello, Chuck, VA3XLJ. So I'm going to give you a quick 7-3. I'm in the middle of my predicament. Fan worked out to be the one inside of the power supply, 24 volts. Yeah. Instead of 12, and I'm just doing some quick Frankensteining of what I can do and add a couple of components to make a new fan working. So I'm kind of halfway done with it. So 7-3 guys, and until next Wednesday, VA3XLJ.
Okay, Vanya, good luck, and thanks for your check-in. All right, let's go to Steve now, VA3NFG. Last call, Steve. Are you still there? Oh, he's probably having his cereal. Okay, let's see if Mark, you still there? VA3MHV.
Yes, still here, Chuck. Thanks again for doing it. Very enjoyable. I'll say 7-3 stall. Everyone have a wonderful evening. And that's all I got. VA3, Mike Hotel Victor.
On the reply there, Chuck. Sorry about that.
Okay, very good. Well, first of all, thanks, Mark, and take care. We'll talk to you again soon. And Steve, thanks for coming back. I wasn't sure if you would or not. The last word goes to you, Steve.
Yeah, okay, Chuck, very good. No, I was listening to the stream. I shut my radio off and was listening to the stream, so I guess there's maybe there might have been a 30-second delay going on there, but anyhow. Okay, very good, Chuck. Thanks, buddy. Have yourself a good night. Stay warm.
All right, Steve, you too. Take care, and we'll talk to you again soon. Okay, well, that's it for my list. Unless there's anybody that would like to check in here, any last minute check ins, this is last call for the AREG net for tonight. And I am VA3CJZ. Please come now.
VA3DGA, Dave in Dundas.
Dave's gone amateur. VA3DGA. Dave, come on in.
Good evening to you, Chuck. I just switched the radio on, hit it on scan, and bang, I was like, oh yeah, the AREG net. I don't spend a lot of time on the radio like I used to, and well, things ebb and flow. I actually was swimming this evening, which isn't something I do very often, but there we go. I managed to motivate myself to go do something, so I'm kind of pleased with that. Hopefully, I can make that something that I do more frequently. Good evening to you. Happy New Year to you. I haven't spoke with you yet this year, and all that may still be listening to the wrap up. Thrilled to hear AREG still going as strong as ever under your leadership there, Chuck. VA3CJZ.
Yeah.
Okay. It all got nodded in my
That's
head.
it.
CJZ, VA3DGA.
That's it, Dave. You got it. All right. Well, thanks, Dave. And well, I guess I should wish you a happy new year as well. 2025 will be better than 2024. I can predict it. All right, Dave, always a pleasure. And that's great. You went swimming. The only swimming I do these days is the backstroke in my bathtub, but that's a story for another time. And so thanks again for checking in. You're bringing my total up to 24 check-ins tonight, including the check-ins from the YouTube stream. That is also still going. So thanks again, and we'll talk to you again soon. Dave, I know things happen. You don't always have time for the radio, but it's always a pleasure, sir. And we'll talk to you again soon. Take care. Cheers. VA3DGA, VA3CJZ. Any other last call check-ins? Please come now. All right. Well, I guess this is it. This is a wrap. Until next week. Tonight we had how many? 24 check-ins in total. Very nice. I'd like to thank everyone who checked in and said hello here on the radio as well as on the YouTube stream. I hope you all enjoyed yourselves as much as I did. And I look forward to doing it all again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. This is VA3CJZ. Chuck saying good night and 7-3. Happy DXing.